We now venture our attention far away from Calathar and his companion to the very heart of the Radiant Triangle, the Golden Citadel. A beautiful citadel floating in space above a large, lush green and blue planet, Iridan. Around it are smaller meteors with thick garden and foliage on it. Truly a wonder to behold. And of course, flying with an ever-watchful eye, a large group of star moths in the distance. Star moth is the elven spelljamming vessels. We venture inside to see many guards walking paths of silver on the floor of gold. The paths lead to large wooden doors already opened into a large grand hall filled with strong blossoming trees of purple leaves. King Deridale stands at a window looking down upon the world that became the new home for the elves so many centuries ago. Now the world, fortunately, is plagued in war. Some call it the Astral War, a war between elf and dwarf. Next to the king is the commander. And he says, "It is truly a beautiful day, Sacred One, isn't it?" The king responds,
"Untouched by hate and violence. And I hope to keep it as just."
The royal page enters. "Sire, I present Nomington. He travels from Kalon's fortress."
"Oh, bring him in haste."
The page leaves. The commander leans over to the king. "Your son sent you his autognome all the way from the edge of wild space. What meaning is within?" The king says,
"We shall see, Commander."
The page comes back, and he returns with Nomington, the autognome.
"Sacred One, His Royal Highness has placed me at your disposal."
"It is good to see you again. You bring word."
"I do, Your Highness."
"What is your news?"
"Sacred One, I bring most dire news. Fortress of Dalgon has been sacked, and His Highness, your son, Prince Kalon, is dead."
"Do you know this be true?" "Confirmed."
"It is confirmed, Sacred One. Our worst fears are coming true."
The king walks over to back to the window he was at before, and you can see that he's either crying, upset, or trying to contain his emotions.
"Commander,"
he says without turning around.
"Assemble the War Council. Nomington,
He turns around to you.
Sacred One,
I take you into my service once again.
I'm most honored.
I charge you with your first task. Find the Asimir Paladin, the one who finds lost things. We're going to need him."
It will be done."
You go back over to the other side of wild space. You find yourself walking into a tavern known as the Drifting Galleon. It's you, Loken, and Sherry. Inside is a motley crew of all different species. Loken takes you over to the bar where you see a plasmoid is sitting down, having a beer, where you can see the ale going into his mouth from all sides, passing through his body, and laying in some sort of stomach area. You think?
Has he assumed a humanoid shape, or is he just
Currently,
completely amorphous?
as you know that usually they can take any shape they want, it seems that now he has chosen to take a shape of a plasmoid form. I present to you two a companion I've met over the years. I present to you Blobbert. He is a plasmoid that knows how to acquire things of interest. Blobbert, this is Calthor and his friend Sherry. They might need your services for a future mission. I'll let you guys speak.
I hope it's a lucrative one.
Blobbert.
Hello.
It's wonderful to meet you. My name is Prince Calthar Zell.
Ah, Prince Calthar.
And
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My companion is Sherry.
Hello.
Hello, young gentle blob.
That's right, a plasmoid.
You have some moves, I see.
Well, you know,
Very nice.
how I get around.
Very nice.
I like your dancing.
If he does that the entire day, it'd be great.
jiggly.
I
Just jiggles
love
all
it.
day long.
I think you're going to get what you wish for.
Blobbert, Loken informs me you possess many unique traits
I suppose so.
and unique
Yes.
abilities.
Perhaps.
Are your services for hire?
Oh, yes. As long as it's a lucrative deal, you know.
Have you ever worked with Astral Crystal in the past?
Astral Crystal.
You don't know anything about it.
Can't say I have.
Loken returns. He has some ales for everybody. Hey, around on me.
Whoa,
Look
thank
at this.
you.
My way is paying you back for some of your lost coin.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Loken, our new friend, tells me he has no experience with Astral Crystal.
Astral crystal is very rare. It is basically, you can imagine arcane energy in the form of crystal. It can be used to power many ancient machines of war, and also in this case, for the elves, a very powerful shield that they use to protect their homeland. This mission, if Kalthor deems you worthy, we would be asking you to help. Well, in part one, your gifts for getting in and out of situations easily, perhaps behind a few locked areas if needed. We don't know exactly what you would encounter.
Infiltration. yes, yes, yes.
But also, the astral crystal is actually not crystal in its raw form. It's actually a liquid. We would need you to perhaps contain it inside of you for a small period until we can put it into a container. So I can usually, when you're dealing with this sort of thing, it's very unstable and it's very easily lost. You see, when to explain further, when the astral crystal from its liquid form, it must be put into the machine in the liquid form and then crystallize immediately so that it can pass its energy through the crystal for a long period of time as well, for even perhaps amount of years. But it must be liquid once entering the machine.
To power the shield.
Yes.
Well, this sounds like a most delicate operation. It's quite risky to me, it sounds.
And we understand your unique biology can protect the crystal in its liquid form,
Yes.
making you uniquely qualified for this project.
Now, the only other thing I can think of to transport arcane crystal in its raw form is a couple of devices that I've seen by the gnomes. And if we can get our hands on some of those, perhaps these devices would be able to help control it. But in a pinch, in a situation, we would need somebody who can hold the arcane crystal.
So, what's your offer? I mean, really asking me to risk quite a lot. So,
I am a prince of the Zell family. You can ask my companion Sherry. I pay very, very fair rates. Isn't that right, Sherry?
Oh, that is correct.
And if I find that your services are of positive consequence, you could even ask Sherry that I may employ your services on future missions.
This would be our 5th trip together. May I say I've enjoyed every one?
well, that is good to hear.
What do you say, Blobbert?
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Logan.
You won't regret it. And in our downtime, we're dancing.
We now return to the Golden Citadel and we find King Deridale sitting in war council with his commander, no means it included, and coming on over and into the room is a paladin, an Asimir paladin. Vin, why don't you describe your character?
My character's name is Valentir Agmar. He is a paladin of Agma. He is a very tall, humanoid creature in full armor. His face is pretty much never revealed. From behind his faceplate, you can see his eyes are like very golden and shiny. He also stands about 6'5", 6'6", so he's a very tall, imposing figure.
And describe an Asimir for those who don't know.
So an Asimir is born of a mortal race, but a child of a god or celestial being. So imagine a holy figure born into a mortal body, right? And he's a very perfect looking being. So he looks human, but he's very meticulous. Like everything about him is, his cheekbones are perfect, his eyes are perfect, his hair is perfect.
Valentir enters the room with the page, and you see that you've apparently interrupted some sort of council meeting, but the king gives you a motion like it's all right. The commander stops speaking, and then you come in, and they motion for you to sit. Do you?
I take my seat, yes.
As I was saying, Sacred One, with the fall of Kalon's fortress, this will bring dwarven forces to our shield's edge within weeks. The king looks at this, looks at a map, and you see they have a map almost like an arcane hologram, kind of like floating. You see in its places around that map is ship movement of both sides. The king gets up, walks around the room, kind of looks at the map, and is contemplative.
Will the star shield ignite if needed?
Looks at the commander. Commander looks uneasy and looks back and looks at some of the other advisors on council. It hasn't been tested in hundreds of years, Sacred One.
A brief recess, please. Everyone go. Asimar, you stay. Where did Nomington find you? What sort of mission were you on today?
My last mission was very successful with the return of the holy relic of Asimar.
I have something for you to find. In this case, it is not a relic. It is my second son, Kalthar. I am concerned for his safety, and now he will be the next ruler of our kingdom.
Your Highness, with all due respect, I understand that your son is a very important figurehead, but I am tasked by my god to find relics.
Surely you can see that everything that you do in your missions not be possible without the stability of these lands.
I do understand that, Your Highness, but
It's not only your code as a paladin, call you forth in such need. You wish the dwarves to overtake this land. It is because they will, and we all know the greed that they possess, the machines of war that they use.
I will do this for you, Your Highness. I will pray to my god, and if he sees fit that I am to go on this mission of yours, then I will take up this cause.
Very good.
But without his guidance, I will have to reject the mission.
Go inside. Figure what you must. Come back to me shortly, please. Time is of the essence.
You're sitting in the tavern.
Loken, we'll need a pilot.
Although I haven't spelljammed in 30 years or such, I don't know how good I would be.
You'd be better than any of us. I trust in your abilities, Loken. You should too.
I'll tell you what, I will help you until you are able to do it yourself.
Me.
Yes.
Spelljam.
Yes. We will spend a few days here in port. I will train you as much as I can to get you started.
You have that much faith in me to Spelljam.
I believe you could do it, yes. You are very talented just because you haven't put yourself into the proper way of thinking or even tested your abilities does not mean that you cannot do it.
How do you like that, Sherry? Kalthar Zell, Spelljammer.
I love it.
Thank you, Loken.
Very good. We'll begin trading tonight.
Okay.
Okay, we're going back to you. You are outside talking to your god, I guess. Where are you going?
I would go back to my quarters and literally pray on the question.
You go back to your quarters and you pray to your god, and take it away. Let's hear some prayer.
In the name of Agma, please guide me on this quest for the Astral Elves. Will it be deemed worthy to search for the King's son? Or shall I continue on with my ventures of finding the relics that you request?
You hear a voice.
Do it.
God speaking riddles.
That they do.
You can roll d20.
What am I rolling with here? Insight or...
You can add insight, yeah.
It is a 17.
17. Okay, so you pray on the issue of taking this mission or going back to what you do normally, which is to find your holy items and such. You get flashes of the future, and you get a flash that implies what happens if you don't help. And you see the dwarves literally taking giant machines of war. Giant vessel comes in, and you see on the front of it is this giant drill. And this drill, in comparison, to what you're seeing, is actually probably the size of like 100 feet. And it just comes in and just rails into the Golden Citadel. You see blood. You see the dwarves capturing the planet and putting them to work. You see the dwarven leader, name that you know. You never met him, but you know his name. XENO GODSTONE. And you basically see him pushing his empire further and further. And then you're back.
All right. It seems that your message is clear, and I will return to the Astral Elves and give them the guidance that they request.